24 and 40. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken, and the other left. And it's also in Luke 17. Luke 17, 34 to 36. Luke 17, 34 to 36. It says, I tell you, in that night there shall be two men in one bed, the one shall be taken, and the other shall be left. Two women shall be grinding together, the one shall be taken, and the other left. 36. Two men shall be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. See? Okay, number 3. When Judas Iscariot returned the 30 pieces of silver, this payment for betraying of Mashayach Yahawashi, to the chief priests and elders of the people, what did they do with it? Anybody get that scripture? It was had to be at the end of the chapter because Mashayach Yahawashi is being traded to be put to death. So Matthew 27 and verse 3. Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, see, saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, what is that to us? See unto that. See thou to it that. So like that. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself. He went and hung himself when he threw down the 3 pieces of silver. And the chief priest took the silver pieces and said, it is not lawful for us to put them into the treasury, because it is the price of blood. And they took counsel and brought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in. See? So they purchased a graveyard. That's something. The money that they betrayed of Mashayach Yahawashi with. Graveyard. Wow. This moment. Wow. That's our people. Wicked Israelites. Cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Okay. Okay, what was the Mashayach response number 4? What was the Mashayach response to the tempter, saying, command that these stones be made bread? Anybody get that scripture? It's in 2 places, and that's when Satan, the devil, came and dealt with him and tempted him for 40 days and 40 nights. Anyone have that? Know where that's at?
Matthew 4:4 and Luke 4:4.
Matthew the 4th chapter and the 3rd verse. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of Man, Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. What was the other one? What was the other answer you gave?
Luke chapter 4, 3 and 4.
Con. Luke 4, 3 and 4. And the devil said unto him, if thou be the Son of Man, Son of the Most High, command this stone that it be made bread. And the Mashayach answered him and saying, it is written, that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of the Most High. That's what we're supposed to be living by, every word of the Most High. It is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of the Most High. So, number 5. What reason did the Mashayach give to his disciples as to why people could not understand his parables? The answer, Matthew 13. And 15. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. That's how you got to look at this, and us being called to understand and be a part of the first fruits of the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and understanding the word of the Most High beyond everyone in the world. Like he just said, many men desire to have this knowledge that we have. They don't have it. They're not able to have this. Look at Mark 4 and 10. And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable. The question is, what reason did Mashayach give to his disciples as to why people could not understand his parables? Because this is the one that we went over about the stony ground. It's right in this chapter, one of them. It says, and when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable. And he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery, which is something that's unknown, of the kingdom of the Most High. But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables. Why? That seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand, lest at any time they should be converted, and their sins should be forgiven them. See? So let you know, and within that scripture, that he don't want everybody to be converted. He don't want everybody's sins to be forgiven them. That's why 2 Ezra 9:22 says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. Let my grape and my plant be kept, for with great labor have I labored to make it perfect. Paraphrase. You got a multitude of people that, he said, that's made in vain. So who did Judas Iscariot go to betray Mashayach Yahawashi? Where is that at? So some of y'all went to the scriptures to find the answers, or I wanted it off the top of your head, but I told you to write down the scripture. It was just from memory. Who did Judas Iscariot go to betray Mashayach Yahawashi?
Matthew 26 and 3.
Matthew what? Let's look at Mark 14 and 10. Because the question is about Judas Iscariot. Who did he go to? So it's got to be the story of him going to someone. Mark 14 and 10. And Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went unto the chief priests to betray him unto them. That's the answer right there. Because the question is, who did Judas Iscariot go to betray Mashayach Yahawashi? And Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went unto the chief priests to betray him unto them. John 18, verse 2 and 3. And Judas also, which betrayed him, knew the place, for Mashayach oftentimes resorted thither with his disciples. Judas then, having received a band of men and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, cometh thither with lanterns and torches and weapons. Luke 22. So we add the Pharisees, chief priests, and the elders and the Pharisees. I think someone did say the Pharisees. I think he did, but those three, as we see so far. Luke 22 and 3. Luke 22 and 3. Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. Read that to you again, because a lot of you probably don't understand how this wicked acts be coming about. And they asked him, what made you do it? And they always said, the devil made me do it. Devil, Satan, they all read. Same entity, same kind of spirit. Listen what it say. Then entered, this is Luke 22 and 3. Then entered Satan into Judas' surname Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. And he went his way and communed with the chief priests and captains, how he might betray him unto them. So now you got, who do you have now? What do you have now? We went to. With all the names that we've gotten so far. Are you there? Well, who did he go to? Anybody else? Are you finished? Or are you still thinking? Well, you gotta add all that it says that we've read that was there. Okay, let's go over it one more time. Y'all not paying attention well enough. Mark 14 and 10. And Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went unto the chief priests to betray him unto them. Okay. John 18. I should have wrote the scriptures down. When you over the scriptures, then you could have really went back and seen what the scripture says, like I'm doing right now. John 18 and 2. And Judas also, which betrayed him, knew the place, for Mashayach oftentimes resorted thither with his disciples. Judas then, having received a band of men and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, cometh thither with ladders and torches and weapons. Luke 22. Luke 22 and 3. Then entered Satan into Judas, his surname Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. And he went his way and communed with the chief priests and captains, how he might betray him unto them. So y'all have them all now? Okay, what are they? No. No. Satan entered into him to get him to do the act. Satan entered into him before he went to the. Wait a minute. Let me hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Chief priests, elders, Pharisees, captains, and a band of men.
Anyone else? You got them all but one. Look over your scriptures. I went over it twice. Y'all could go over it for the third time for yourself. Look at it's one you missing. Come on now. Come on. Y'all can do it. It's only one that's missing. Y'all have the scriptures, right?
That would be in Luke 22:3.
Here we go with Satan again. You already dealt with that.
Do we leave out scribe?
Anybody else want to try it? You got everyone. Everyone's been named but one.
Scribe?
I ain't never see. I ain't read no scribes. Y'all read scribes? I didn't read no scribes. We just go by what it says. Come on, all I gotta do is read it. I done read it twice. Can y'all read it and find out what the answer is? Come on now. Think. Do y'all have all the scriptures I gave? Did y'all write them down? Hmm? No. No. What scripture do y'all have?
John 18:3, Luke 22:3, and Matthew 26:3.
No. Let's go to Matthew 26:3, because that's what you gave. I never said. I told you that was wrong.
Oh, Salakia.
Matthew 26:3. Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the palace of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas, and consulted that they might take Mashayach by subtlety and kill him. That's not they plotting, but the question is, who did Judas Iscariot go to betray Mashayach Yahawashi? They already want to kill him. He knows it, so he's like, he the one that led them to Mashayach Yahawashi to have him, brought before them. The question is concerning Judas Iscariot. They didn't say anything about Judas Iscariot. They just plotting to kill him. It was Mark 14:10, John 18:2-3, and Luke 22:3-4. So it have to be men of significance. Y'all not reading, y'all not gonna go over them. Man, y'all lazy. Y'all can't read Mark 14:10, John 18:2-3, and Luke 22:3-4. And it's only the ones of significance that I'm looking for. Nobody want to try? Okay. Y'all, shoot, why should I be doing all this if y'all not really gonna do it yourself? One person said they looking it up. Finally. Wow. And some people don't say nothing. They just on the line just getting whatever. They just hanging out. Ooh, Israel. Okay. Who ready to try it? Time is going by. Been 10 minutes. Pretty much had it. It's just a matter of one more. I don't know why y'all keep saying Satan. That's why I say you have to know how things operate. Satan got into him to have him go to who it is that I'm asking you who he went to, basically. You see scribes? What verse says scribes? You might get help. No, see, that's why I said that was wrong. That's why when she said that initially, I said that was wrong. And see, that's why I said that's what happened when you throw out scriptures that's wrong or that's not on point. That's how people can take that and run with it, and it's off. You see what I'm saying? Well, she said it at first. I said, no, that's not right. And I just read it, and I said it had nothing to do with Judas Iscariot. They plotting to kill him. You see what I'm saying? They're plotting to kill him. But the answer that I'm asking for, the scribes were not included. From those scriptures that I gave. And that was Mark 14 and 10, because the question is, who did Judas Iscariot go to betray Mashayach Yahawashi? So the answer has to be with Judas Iscariot going to someone to betray Mashayach Yahawashi. Okay? And it's within those scriptures I gave. Yes. John 18, 2 to 3, and Luke 22, 3 and 4. Okay, now that's too much time. I want four different ones of significance. Eliminate the band of men, because they just operated under they work for the chief priests. Somebody have a lot of noise and background noise all of a sudden. Say again. Right. Them four. Because the other men, they just work for the chief priests. The band of men that was there, that's them four right there. Say them again.
Chief priests, captains, officers, and Pharisees.
Right. That's all it named. Everybody have that? Those four. Because they men of stature. That have some kind of rank. The captain and officers have rank. So a lot of people don't want to deal with rank, but that's rank right there. Where? In Israel. When? During the time that Mashayach Yahawashi walked the earth in the flesh. Captains and officers. Chief high priests, Pharisees, scribes, you had Sadducees, you had different ones that we had in order. They had a position amongst our culture. Number 7, Mashayach Yahawashi said, when thou makest a blank or a supper, call not thy blank, nor thy brethren, neither thy kinsmen, nor thy rich neighbors, lest they also bid thee again, and a recompense be made thee. But when thou makest a feast, call the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind, and thou shalt be blank, for they cannot recompense thee, but thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just. Anyone have an idea?
Luke chapter 12, verse 12 to 14.
La-ah. No, that is not the correct answer. So if anyone want to just write down whatever's being said, then, huh?
Luke 14 chapter.
Right.
Verse 12 to 14.
Con. Everybody hear that? Luke 14th chapter, verse 12 to 14. Then said he also to him that bade him, when thou makest a dinner or a supper, call not thy friends, nor thy brethren, neither thy kinsmen, nor thy rich neighbors, lest they also bid thee again, and a recompense be made thee. They can pay you back. But when thou makest a feast, call the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind, and thou shalt be blessed. For they cannot recompense thee, but thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just. I'm going to write that one down for those that say we're not supposed to be feeding the homeless. That's a good one, wouldn't you say? When you feeding someone, you inviting them to eat your food that you have cooked, whatever it is that you preparing with someone of the poor. He said, invite the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind. And see, what people don't realize, this is a reward, he's saying, and thou shalt be blessed. But they cannot recompense thee. They can't give you a reward or pay you back. And say, for thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just. And see, that's what people look. Everybody look for something for now. I want it now. What I'm gonna get now. But what about at the resurrection of the just? That's the ultimate blessing. But he will bless you in your life if you look on the things of others more than the things of yourself. He talks about that in Matthew the 25th chapter, the 31st verse down. Verse 8. So what he's saying is do something for someone that really can't do anything back to give you a reward or payback for whatever you've done to them. Because you know they don't have it. That's what he's saying. You'd be blessed in the resurrection of the just. When you come back to judge and make war. Instead of a righteous kingdom on this earth. Verse 8. Mashayach answered them, have not I chosen you 12, and one of you is a devil? Who was he speaking of? Everybody knows Judas Iscariot. Anyone know the scripture? A scripture that pertains to that? It's John 6:70. Mashayach answered them, have not I chosen you 12, and one of you is a devil? He spake of Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon, for he was that should betray him, being one of the 12. That's what he spoke of, Judas Iscariot. Number 9. What did the seed receive into stony places mentioned by Mashayach in the parable of the sower represent? Nobody got that one. So I'm going to go to Matthew 13. And we're going to look at verse 5. Matthew 13. And verse 5. Matthew 13 and 5. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth, and when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. Okay? So now jumping down to verse 20. He's giving you the understanding of the parable. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. You hear the word, he'd be happy to hear the fact that he is Israelite, the fact that salvation is coming to Israel. Mashayach, the Most High, had hair of wool. They were men of color, dark, very dark skin, blue, black. You love to hear that. It says, yet have he not root in himself. And that foundation is a Mashayach Yahawashi. But during for a while, he endured for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. He is offended. See? Mark the 4th chapter. Y'all writing this down? Huh? Okay, Mark the 4th chapter. Y'all writing this down, right? Okay, Mark 4 and 5. And some fell on stony ground, where it had not much earth. And immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, it was scorched. And because it had no root, it withered away. Now let's look at verse 16, giving understanding. And 17. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness. They hear the word, they be all happy. Yeah, I'm an Israelite. Feeling all great and happy. Receive it with gladness. And have no root in themselves. Like a lot of people don't have root in themselves. That's why I always tell you that's like a revolving door. Because these people don't get root in themselves. They just go by learning precepts, but they don't really have a foundation of a Mashayach Yahawashi to the glory of the Most High. Therefore, they're in for a while, then they get offended, and they leave. Listen what it says. How many times have I seen this? And have no root, verse 17, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a while, a time. They be in the truth for a little while. Afterward, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. They're offended, then they're gone. Ain't nowhere to go. But I guess they feel, hey, the world is more better than the Most High, the Mashayach Yahawashi. They be at war with the Most High. You leave this, you at war with the Most High. That's why I say you're going to get a complete number of spirits that's going to deal with you, to destroy you. And your end going to be worse than it was, than the Most High having you to learn and come in to learn this truth. Sad to say, but it's real. It's real, people. Number 10. When the even was come, they brought unto him many that were possessed with blank. And he cast out the spirits with his word, and blank all that were sick, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Elijah, by Isaiah, the blank, saying, himself took our infirmities and bare our sicknesses. Now when the Mashayach saw great multitudes about him, he gave commandment to depart unto the other side. Now we can look at, anybody have the scriptures where that's at?
and 18.
No, you got the wrong book. The right numbers.
Okay, Matthew.
Yeah, you keep making the wrong statement of books. Right. Matthew the 8th chapter. We're going to look at verse 16 to 18. Very good. It says, when the even was come, they brought unto him many that were possessed with devils, and he cast out the spirits with his word. See? And healed all that were sick. So that's why you look at Satan, or the devil got into who? To have him betray Mashayach Yahawashi, Judas Iscariot. That's what it said. That's what it says. When the even was come, they brought unto him many that were possessed with devils, and he cast out the spirits with his word. So these devils, they full of spirits. People full of spirits, those are devils. And he cast it out with his word. And healed all that were sick. With what? With his word. That it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Isaiah, the prophet, saying, himself took our infirmities and bare our sicknesses. See? Let's look at Mark, the 1st chapter. In the 32nd to the 34th verse. Mark 1:32. And at even, when the sun did set, they brought unto him all that were diseased, and them that were possessed with devils, spirits. And all the city was gathered together at the door. And he healed many that were sick of diverse diseases, and cast out many devils, and suffered not the devils to speak, because they knew him. That's something. They knew about him, Mashayach Yahawashi. Luke 4, just like they know some of us. Luke 4, these are spirits. Luke 4 and 40. Luke 4 and 40. Now when the sun was setting, all they that had any sick with diverse diseases brought them unto him. And he laid his hands on every one of them and healed them. Just laying hands on them and healed them. And devils also came out of many, crying out and saying, Thou art Mashayach, the Son of the Most High. And he rebuking them, suffered them not to speak, for they knew that he was Mashayach. That's why I say it's very important to understand Mashayach. They knew who he was. Look at this has nothing to do with it. That's, I think that was the last one we had, right? Verse was just 10, right? Huh? Okay, look at jump up to verse 33. It says, and in the synagogue there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil, and cried out with a loud voice. Hear that? And in the synagogue there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil. Right there in the synagogue. Right amongst us. He had a spirit of an unclean devil, and cried out with a loud voice, saying, Let us alone. Let us alone. Remember it said, And in the synagogue there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil, and cried out with a loud voice. But listen what it says. Saying, let us alone. What have we to do with thee? Well, it's plural. It's more than one. Thou Mashayach Yahawashi of Nazareth, art thou come to destroy us? Us. I know thee, who thou art, the Holy One of the Most High. And the Mashayach rebuked him, saying, hold thy peace, shut up, and come out of him. And when the devil had thrown him in the midst, he came out of him, and hurt him not. And they were all amazed, and spake among themselves, saying, what a word is this? For with authority and power he commanded the unclean spirits, and they come out. And the fame of him went out into every place of the country round about. So we got famous, right? And we looking at what he would do and how he operated. He did these miracles, more miracles than we put in all the books of the world. But this was his spirit. Even though he had all this power. This is a spirit that we have to have. You want to be Mashayach, you still got power, but you still got to operate as he operated. He came to be an example, to show us without sin. Philippians, the 2nd chapter, and verse 7. You see the fame of him went all around, but this is him. But made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. And being found in the fashion of man, he humbled himself, and became obedient unto the death, even the death of the cross. That's what he done. And that's how we have to be. See? It's very important. Look at Psalms 22 and 6. Psalms 22 and 6. But I am a worm, and no man, a reproach of men, a despise of the people. All they see me, laugh me to scorn. They shoot out the lip, they shake their head, saying, he trusted on the Most High that he would deliver him. Let him deliver him, seeing he delivered in him, seeing he delighteth in him, in the Most High. Wow. Cold-blooded, right? But that's Israel.